So most of what was shown in the last video still applies, except for playing your map part. That one's a bit different. This video will just go over all the new stuff, so if you haven't watched the last video, then you probably should, if you're getting into it for the first time. So by far the biggest improvement within the editor in this new version is the Inject tool. This is the new way to play your maps in the game. The old method was a bit convoluted and a bit limited within its features, so things have been improved a lot. Here's how it works. If you're playing on Steam, go to Edit and Preferences and set your Steam resources .dat file right here. For most people it should be in C, Program Files x86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, and you should see Robbery Bob like this. And just select resources.dat and then click apply. And then once you have your map ready, just go over to inject and play Steam. Select what level to inject into. So for example, advanced 1. It will freeze up a bit. Then it will ask you for administrator privileges, so you just give it. And if everything went right, then you should see Steam open up. Okay, so for Android, the first thing you want to do is to download the Android mullable zip right here. It will open up in Chrome, the website where you can download it from. Click on download anyway. Now just put it somewhere. Once it's downloaded, you can select inject, either inject or inject and make APK. So what I would recommend that you do is if you want to have multiple maps within the game, then you can just load them with the inject tool within the zip. Because the normal inject is much faster than inject and make APK. For making the APK is a bit slow. So you can, for example, put in suburbs 1. It will now ask you for the file. Make sure you select mullable Robbery Bob 1 zip from this. Now go over to your zip file that you just downloaded. Select it. It should disappear, so you can just load in multiple levels, and then once you are done loading in all the levels within the game, you go over to inject and make APK instead. So just put in the same thing, and the APK has been improved a lot. So now it doesn't conflict with your game, first of all. So you can have the original game alongside the modded one, and also the APK can be installed from within Android. You don't need to go through ADB, but that option still works. So let me just show it. It's not going to take a little bit of time because making the APK is a bit slow. It might look like it's frozen, but you just give it a bit of time. If it doesn't crash, it doesn't exit out, then things are great. If PowerShell opens up like this, then things are going well. Once it's done, you should see this last line, APK compiled to blah blah blah, to this location. If your phone is plugged in and has USB debugging enabled, type Y to use ADB to install it. Otherwise, type N to show the output folder. So if you just click N, it should open up within the bottom in Explorer the APK that it made right here. And this APK, you can rename it, you can do whatever you want, and you can load it within your device and just install it from there. It will give you a few warnings about the application being too old, but you can just click on show more and install anyway. I think that's what was the option to do that. So some people were asking me in the last video how you should share your maps to others. And for Android, with this new method, you can just share around the APK that you made and just let people install it. And for the PC, you share around the resources.dat file. So that's one of the main features, but the other main feature that has been added is within Edit and Map properties. So this window has most of the main functionality that has been added. So your map will look like this probably. So when you click on apartment level, you can now set the height. For example, 0.8. Let's keep it at 1. Make sure you have the downtown tile set selected. You can select the background. This one's a bit broken. I don't know why it doesn't work. And once you close out of it, you might see that you have this black border. So if you go over to the paint tool and select floor nothing, this texture, that will make the floor see-through like this. And this border is the border of the level, so you won't be able to see beyond the black line right here. So how do you exactly make the elevator right here? Okay, so just put in your spawn point, then go over to place prop and look for either elevator floor or elevator floor 2. So just place this one down. Then what I recommend you do is you select it and then go over to the properties panel and set the placement within there. You can also just use the move tool like this, but make sure that this is within 0.5 interval. So you see how this is 3.96? Make sure it's either 4 or 3.5. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So it can be either a whole number or it can have 0.5 to it. So like this, place it down. Now you can add in your wall. For example, this one. We'll just do that. Another new improvement within the editor is that now whenever you place down an object, it's immediately selected, as you can see, and you don't need to manually select it anymore when you want to immediately move it. So now we're just going to create a little gap for the elevator door. Now go over to the door tool. We're going to select door elevator. Now go over to properties and make sure that sliding door is enabled. Otherwise you'll get a little bit of a strange bug. Then after that, the last thing you do is you click on additional exit areas within edit. I already have one down, but you can click on new. It's gonna place it within the center of the map, so just place it right where the elevator is, like that. Close this, and now you're ready. So all of the other new options are self-explanatory. For example, night level, you can just set it to be a night level. And finally, you have automatic exit areas. So if you're creating something like that one level where you steal stuff from the outside of the map and you have gameplay on the outside, then you should turn this off. By default, it's on, and it should stay that way for most levels. Like this one, pretty much all of the levels that you're making should have that, except if there's gameplay outside. Then you have to manually add in the exit areas using this tool here. Another great option that has been added is expand or contract. So this will allow you to change the size of the map while you're making it. So let's say you want to extend this map out in this direction. So I go over to here and I specify how many tiles to extend it by. Let's say 2. And it's going to add 2 tiles that we can now edit. And if we want to contract it, we can go back to expand or contract and then type in -2 in this direction. Click OK, and it's going to contract it back. The program now uses a brand new file format. So when you go to create your map, for example, something like this, it doesn't really matter, right? You see that it will now create a BobMapper map file with the BobMap extension. So the benefit of this is that you can now go over to your map, right click, open with, and if you go over to more apps, look for another app on your PC, then go over to where you downloaded BobMapper. For me, it's here. Then you can open the map directly. So just to demonstrate that again, if you just open it up, and there it is. Here are some other improvements that have been made within the editor. The right-click function on the paint floor tool now works properly. Before it was very buggy, but now it should show up properly. Okay, so the NPCs now don't need to have their first path point set. They're just going to start at the nearest one. So right now, the lady will start at this point, but if we move her over here, she's gonna start here. So this just makes things a bit easier. And you can see that the winter tile set has been fixed. In the past, it didn't work the way it was supposed to. And there are other bug fixes that have been added. So that's pretty much about it. See ya!